immediately that we should reserve the largest chunk of the time that is available to us to interaction between the speakers and our dear students. Let us see how it works out, but I will try to be as brief as possible, concentrating on what I consider to be 4 prominent planks upon which this discussion can be built. First, taking cue from the word contemporary in the subject. Why is it that a person who died how many years ago, 1938, that we are still discussing, we are still invoking him in relation to our problem, not problems pertaining to Kashmir alone or problems pertaining to the subcontinent alone, but problems which humanity in general confronts. Why is it so? Going a little backwards in history, why is it that we still read a person who wrote 3,000 years ago, Sophocles, and find immediately relevant to us? Why is it that a person who wrote 700 years ago, Maulana Jalaluddin Rumi, rahmatullah alayhi, why is it that he is becoming a bestseller in today's America? So my submission with regard to this is this, that these great poets, we cannot conceive of them perhaps because we are not amongst them. These great poets have an uncanny, it is not necessary that you would agree with this is a humble student's approach, you can disagree with it and later on raise questions. These great poets have whether they are Muslims by name or non-Muslims, whether it is a Sophocles or a Guilke or a Rumi, they have an uncanny relationship with the ultimate reality. That relationship is ineffable, indescribable, undefined. But they would not be relevant to us if they had not had that uncanny relationship with the ultimate reality which transcends time and space and is therefore universe. Therefore they become relevant to all times and classes, whether you call it contemporary or medieval or ancient or whatever. I had time, I would go on dilating upon this point. That if Aristotle had examined 800 dramas when he prepared his treatise, small treatise, but great poetry, why is it that only a few have survived? Why didn't all of them survive? Why is it that Ghalib has survived who was lost out of poetic assemblies and musharas in his own day, and those who lost him out have not survived? So my very suggestive brief, I can't be but brief, is that they have an uncanny relationship. That ultimate reality which is universal in the truest sense of the term. Iqbal was certainly one of them, there's no doubt about that. But Iqbal had another advantage. That advantage places him perhaps higher in a certain way to many others, not all, but many others. Iqbal had consciously associated himself with a conviction which proceeds from that ultimate reality and is therefore universal, above time and space, like that ultimate reality. Listen to what the Quran says. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alam tara kayfa daraballahu masalan kalimatan tayyibatan kashajaratin tayyibatin asluha fil ard asluha thabitun wa farwa fis sama tuti ukulaha kullahin bi'izni rabbiha fayadribu Allahu al-amsala lin-nas la'allahum yatadhakkarun. See how God tries to explain to you the kalimatun tayyibah, the universal word of truth that all Allah's prophets preached from time to time, and it was finalized by Prophet Muhammad. Its roots are firmly set. This truth is firmly established, and its branches are spread out in the expanse of the whole world. In Najma, fasli gulo lana ka nahi ka, bahar ko iqtidam, la ilaha illallah. Iqbal had deliberately and consciously associated. He was one of those who has that uncanny ability. And he had consciously associated himself with a conviction that is unique, that is about time and place. Therefore, he seems to us relevant. He will seem relevant to those who will come 100 years hence, inshallah. And as Gaista was speaking here, I was being reminded of Shakespeare. Shakespeare has something for the man in the street, and Shakespeare has something for the great thinker and the philosopher. Shakespeare was enjoyed as well by the groundlings in the Elizabethan days, the groundlings who came from the common ruck of the people. And he was enjoyed, he continues to be enjoyed by the greatest mind, because he also belongs to that category of writers who have that uncanny relationship with the unseen, the ultimate reality. Therefore, Iqbal remains relevant, he will continue to remain relevant. But he remains relevant as far as the essence of his message is concerned. Each one of us is hemmed in by all kinds of determinants in our situation. And sometimes we can be misled. Sometimes we can, conditions, circumstances can so overpower us that we can sometimes commit mistakes. But as far as the essence of Iqbal's message is concerned, it remains relevant and it will continue to remain relevant. So my second point that I mentioned 4 points. My second point is that from this point of view, what is the essence of Iqbal's social thought from this point? The essence is, it can't be explained in detail here. The essence is that Iqbal, in accord with his philosophy of the ego, believes that individual is the end of all human effort. The realization of the potential of the individual, and each one of us is born with that potential, with the difference of degree, of course. The realization of an individual's potential should be the ultimate end of all social organization. Not that society is irrelevant. Society is indispensable, because it is only the social organization that an individual can realize his potential. But the society should be geared and organized and directed in a way that it should ultimately create such a free atmosphere in which every individual is able to realize his potential. He knew that an individual cannot bypass the society and then realize his potential. He has to be in first time. रक्त मिल्लत से है तन्हा कुछ, मौज है दरिया में और बेरूनी दरिया कुछ। अब मिल्लत अज अफराद फर्क अज मिल्लत हज में जीनत द मिल्लत एहतराम, मिल्लत अज अफराद में यावत निजाम. So they are correlated, but the ultimate end of any social organization, according to Iqbal, should be to enable the individual to realize his potential.